Hello everyone, this is S. Sini. In previous class, we already have discussed about types of bacteria on the base of nutrition. Right, now we will discuss types of bacteria. These bacteria can be categorized like Monococcus, Diplococcus, Streptococcus. Diplococcus means two monococcus are joined together. Streptococcus means if bacteria making this line shape structure. Okay, so coccus bacteria means round shape bacteria. The coccus bacteria further can be divided into Monococcus, Diplococcus, and here Streptococcus. Streptococcus. Okay, so if we are having round shape bacteria, coccus bacteria. Then second types of bacteria, those are rod shape bacteria, known as bacillus bacteria. What the function of bacillus bacteria? This is a diagram of bacillus bacteria. Here it is monobacillus, means we are having single bacillus bacteria. Diplobacillus means two bacillus are jointed like this. Diplobacillus. Same way Streptobacillus. 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 So Streptobacillus means, if I will draw the diagram, it will be like this. So basically they are having this chain like structure, Streptobacillus here. Okay, so coccus bacteria, bacillus bacteria. Now the spiral bacteria. Spiral bacteria, it is also known as spirilla bacteria. These bacteria basically having this kind of structures. Another fourth kind of bacteria are vibrobacteria. Vibrobacteria means the comma shape bacteria. They are having curve. Right? Do you know the name of one example of vibrobacteria, which is very famous? A bacteria which causes cholera. Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae is a bacterium which causes cholera into the human beings. Right, another thread like types of bacteria also present in our nature, which is known as spirochetes. Right, so these are the different types of bacteria on the basis of shape. Now we will move on types of bacteria on the base of flagella. Okay, so here the number one, if the flagella absent, here I am writing on first position. If flagella absent, then bacteria known as Atrichus. Right, what will be the diagram? This will be the diagram, simply like this. So this is Atrichus. And this is first types of bacteria. Second types of bacteria, a bacteria which is having one flagella on one side here, which is, this is known as Monotrichus. Second, amphitrachus. Amphitrachus means having flagella on both sides, this side and this side also. Amphitrachus. Third one, Lophotrichus. Lophotrichus. Lophotrichus means many flagella on one side. Lophotrichus. And at last, the Peritrichus. Peritrichus means flagella available on the periphery everywhere. If flagella found everywhere on the cell wall, then that kind of bacterium known as Peritrichus. So atrichus, flagella are absent. Monotrichus, one flagella. Amphitrichus, flagella on both sides. Lophotrichus, flagella on one side but many flagella. And Peritrichus, flagella are available on whole surface. Right, so these are different types of bacteria on different bases. Right, now these are the some properties. Most of time you always thought that the bacteria causes disease, bacteria are harmful. We always thought that bacteria means just like a germs. Most of time, most of person always say that bacteria are means germs. No, but here this is not a right thing. Many bacteria are also very beneficial to human life also. So here the some examples. Number one, many bacteria are used in food product formation. Like here is very famous thing which is known as curd. Curd formed by special types of bacteria which is known as LAB, lactic acid bacteria. So lactic acid bacteria are the bacteria which produces the lactic acid. And if we will go with the particular name of bacterium is Lactobacillus. So here I am using a word bacillus. Are you remembering what the meaning of bacillus? Can you tell me the shape of bacillus types of bacteria? Lactobacillus. Lactobacillus means simply the rod shaped bacterium like this. Like this. So these are the bacillus bacteria. Lactobacillus means they will affect on milk. जब भी lacto word आएगा, lacto means related to milk. Okay. So lactobacillus convert milk into the curd. So what the function of lactobacillus bacterium? They convert milk into curd. Right. If you are adding some starter inoculum, जैसे suppose like this container having milk. This is the milk. So first of all we add some amount of curd in this container, so it also can form the curd. कुछ कर्ड हम यहाँ पे इसके अंदर डालेंगे और जिससे कि ये जो मिल्क है, this milk can be converted into the curd. So basically in the form of curd we are adding starter. In biology language it is known as inoculum, or in local language sometimes some persons use a German word and some are used as Saheza. Okay, so in this form we are adding some amount of lactobacillus bacteria into this milk. Now this bacteria will consume this milk and convert into the curd. Right. Many bacteria are also used to form many beverages, many drink, and ethanol is also formed by many bacteria by a process of fermentation. Okay. Many bacteria also provide us antibiotics. Antibiotics, what are antibiotics? Actually antibiotics are the chemicals which we are getting from the microorganisms. And these chemicals also used to kill and prevent the growth of microorganisms. Right. Listen once again. Antibiotics are the chemicals produced by microbes and used to kill and prevent growth of microbes. Right. So basically antibiotics are the chemicals which we are getting from the microbes, and these chemicals are used to prevent the growth and also may kill other microbes. Right. Do you know the name of first antibiotic? The first antibiotic was penicillin, but it was not formed by the bacteria. Actually, Penicillium notatum is a fungi by which first antibiotic is developed. Okay, so we will discuss these things later. Many bacteria work also as a natural cleaner. What the mean of natural cleaner? When any animal die, whenever any animal die, then these microbes started to decaying that dead body and now convert the complex organism into the smaller parts. Suppose like this is any organism, if it die, so gradually what will happen, many bacteria consume their body part, all the tissues, and finally they convert into this dust like structures. So basically they are natural cleaner. They are decaying all the dead plants and animals body. Okay, next, many microbes, many bacteria also live with the human and other organisms and always giving benefit to them. Just like in the intestine of many animals, we are having a bacterium which is known as E. coli. E. coli. E. coli. What the full form of this bacterium? Actually, it is a name of one bacterium, E. coli. The full form is Escherichia coli. So Escherichia coli is found in the intestine of some animals, which convert cellulose into glucose. Right. Initially, we are also able to perform this activity in our intestine. In previous years, we are also having some microbes. Those convert cellulose into the glucose. But nowadays, we are not having these bacteria, so that we are not able to digest this cellulose. Why our appendix become vermiform? Why our appendix become non-functional? Because in previous days, in appendix we are having special types of bacteria which convert cellulose into the glucose. But if we are taking the cellulose, then they convert cellulose into the glucose. But when the human becomes civilized, so they started to peel off the fruits and vegetables. जैसे जैसे हम सिविलाइज हुए तो हमने फ्रूट्स और वेजिटेबल्स को छील के खाना चालू किया. And most of cellulose available into the peels of the fruits and vegetables. So due to this, what happened? The bacterium which is available into our intestine to digest this cellulose now don't have no work. Right? If we are not consuming the cellulose, means we are not providing proper food to these bacteria, which those are you consuming the cellulose. अगर हम सेलुलोज लेंगे ही नहीं तो बॉडी के अंदर जो सेलुलोज को डाइजेस्ट करने वाले बैक्टीरिया हैं, दे ऑल्सो विल नॉट गेट वर्क एंड ग्रेजुअली they will disappear from our body, and same that thing held with the human also. Right, so that's why nowadays we are not having any kind of bacterium which is able to digest the cellulose in human body. Right, so nowadays we can't digest the cellulose because we are not having any enzyme which can digest the cellulose. But some bacteria available in primitive days in our intestine. But nowadays we are not having these bacteria, that's why we are not able to consume the cellulose. Okay, so this is one example of human. Many bacteria also live into the roots of the plant, like a very famous bacterium which is known as Rhizobium. Rhizobium bacterium live inside the roots of legume plants. Roots of legume. Roots of legume plant. So many bacteria are living with other organisms like a human with the different plants also, and they are providing benefit to them, right? And we are also using many bacteria in biotechnology for different research and experiments, right? Suppose like if I want to study that how a bacterium known as Streptococcus pneumoniae, if I wanted to know that how the Streptococcus pneumoniae causing the pneumonia, so first of all I have to take that bacterium into the laboratory. I will do many experiment. Okay, so these bacteria also use in biotechnology for doing many experiment, and we also use these bacteria for many different beneficial activities. Like we take the plasmid of bacterium, right? So these are the different things. So we are using the bacteria. So basically these are the positive points. Let's see the some negative points related to bacterium. Many bacteria are also harmful. How? First of all, they spoil our food. They spoil our food. Okay. Second, many bacteria also pollute the water. Can you tell me what the mean of pollution? The one word is pollution, another word is pollutant. If I am saying any molecule is always be pollutant of, suppose like if I am taking one example, CO2. What do you think about the CO2? CO2 is a pollutant. Pollutant means anything which is causing the pollution, simply. Anything which is causing the pollution known as pollutant. Now can you tell me that CO2 will called as a pollutant or not? Just think. If we are saying that it is a pollutant, so basically before that we need to know what the actual mean of pollution. Pollution means any physical, chemical, biological changes occur into the atmosphere which is creating uncomfort to the other living organisms. That kind of situation known as pollution, and the causing part will be called as pollutant. Means जब भी नेचर के अंदर एटमोसफियर में कुछ ऐसे चेंजेस आते हैं सो दैट द ऑर्गेनिज्म नॉट एबल टू सर्वाइव एंड बेसिकली दे आर फीलिंग द प्रॉब्लम. So any biological, physical and chemical change into the surroundings which creating problem to the other living organisms, then that situation known as pollution, and the causing thing known as the pollutant. If we will talk about the CO2, then if the CO2 available in a very balanced amount, then it is very beneficial to us. Right? But if the amount of CO2 increases from a certain level, then now it works as a pollutant, because now it is creating uncomfort to the other living organisms. Like in the same way, oxygen is available approx 21% into our atmosphere, and basically it is a balanced situation. And if I am saying that now the CO2 becomes 70%, the oxygen becomes 70%, so what do you think? The atmosphere will be more pure. Basically we are talking always about the oxygen, that day by day oxygen level decreasing, each and every organism require oxygen. So what will happen if I will change the scenario of oxygen from 21% to the 70%? Are you able to think what will happen in this situation? Listen one thing here. Anything, if in balance situation, then it is normal. If increase amount or decrease amount in this thing, which is creating problem, then now it become the pollutant, right? So in initial, just like in the case of CO2 also, if the level of CO2 from will be in atmosphere in balance amount, so in this situation CO2 cannot be called as pollutant. But if they now the concentration and amount of CO2 increases into the atmosphere, which is not in normal situation, then that condition called as pollution, and now CO2 become pollutant. So pollutant की definition ऐसा नहीं पर्टिकुलर कंपाउंड को हम हमेशा pollutant बोलेंगे, नहीं. When the amount increases or decreases which creating some problem, now that thing known as a pollutant. Okay, I think now you are clear with this thing. And many organisms also causing many diseases. Right. So many bacteria also causing disease. Do you know can you tell me the 5 name of disease which is caused by the bacterium? With the name of bacterium also. So try to find out the name of 5 disease which is caused by a bacteria, which is caused by bacterium. So make a table. Here the serial number, name of bacterium, the name of disease which they are causing, symptoms, and affected body organ. Affected body organs. Right. So this is all about the bacteria. Now the last thing related to the bacteria, that how the bacteria reproduce. So listen, normally bacteria perform the reproduction. Normally bacteria perform the reproduction by binary fission. What the mean of binary fission? Suppose like this is a one bacterium. So this bacterium finally break down into 2 smaller pieces. Like this. And now this thing known as binary fission. So basically it divided just like this, in this way, like this, right? The next point, sometime in unfavorable condition, many bacteria also produces the spores. Actually, what are these? What the mean of a spore? Suppose like it is a cell, and here it is a nucleus. So first of all, what will happen? The nucleus will divide and form the many copies. First of all, the nucleus will divide and make many copies. Now what will happen? This cell membrane will rupture with the cell wall, and now this nucleus taking some amount of cytoplasm and release from the cell. This is the nucleus taking some amount of cytoplasm and release from the cell body. Here it is another nucleus taking some amount of cytoplasm and now free from the cell. So initially one bacterium taking entry into the cell, now the many bacteria are available, and the inside forming these kind of structures known as spore. Okay, now you got the point what the meaning of a spore is. So spores are very small cellular types of structure. Okay. Bacteria also perform sexual reproduction by exchanging their DNA with the other bacterium. How it happen? Suppose like this is a one bacterium cell, this is another bacterium cell, and these are the pili, hair-like structure which is available onto the bacterium outer surface. Right. Suppose like these are the two bacteria, and here this is the DNA. So what will happen? This bacteria came near to this bacterium, and now they joined together with the help of these here like pili. They join together, right? Now they are exchanging their genetic material. This DNA will take entry here, and this DNA will take entry here. So basically they exchange their genetic material, they exchange their some amount of cytoplasm, and now they become refresh. Okay, so basically we include this thing as a reproduction because two individuals are taking part into this process. So basically now we can't say that it is a uniparental situation. Here it is not a uniparental situation. That's why we are calling it sexual reproduction. I hope now you're clear with these things. Okay, so another part of this kingdom Protista. We have already studied about bacterium. We have studied about bacterium. Now we will discuss about another member of kingdom Protista, Monera, Mycoplasma. So Mycoplasma are the smallest living cell which we still know. So known smallest living cell is Mycoplasma. Okay, so Mycoplasma are the very unique organisms because Mycoplasma not having the cell wall. Okay, so smallest, don't have cell wall, and they also can survive without oxygen. Another important thing about the Mycoplasma, so they can survive without oxygen. And these Mycoplasma also causes many diseases in plant and animals. Can you tell me the name of one disease which is caused by the Mycoplasma? No. Okay, try to find. Now we will discuss second kingdom. Wow, congratulations, we have completed the first kingdom Monera. Now we are on kingdom Protista. This is the second kingdom. And what are the characteristics of member of this kingdom? First of all, they are single-celled organisms, and the cells of these organisms are eukaryotic cell. This is the main point. Me suppose like if I am drawing a diagram of the member of this kingdom, so they are having clearly visible nucleus. So single cell eukaryotic means the nuclear membrane have developed here. Okay, so most of members of this kingdom also the aquatic organisms. Okay, so these are the main properties of kingdom Protista. Now we will study kingdom Protista in detail. Okay, so kingdom Protista mainly include 5 types of members. Number 1, the chrysophytes. Number 2, the dinoflagellates. Number 3, the euglenoids. Number 4, slime molds. And number 5, protozoans. So these are the 5 categories. Okay.